Well, good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here in Holmes County. I'm also pleased to be joined by our Secretary for the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity, Dane Eagle. He's been working hard on a lot of things pertaining to Northwest Florida. We also have Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Petronas is with us here from Northwest Florida. I don't think Representative Drake has gotten here yet, but he was with us at the other stop, and maybe he'll get here. We got the Holmes County Commission here. I think we have the administrators here, is Dave Corbett here, and then James Sims, Mayor of Bonifay. Where are you at? Are you here? Well, we thought he was here. But I want to thank you all for being here. You know, we have, from the beginning of when I became the governor, understood that there was a lot of work that needed to be done with respect to Hurricane Michael. It happened, it was a big storm, but then like a few weeks later, no one outside of Northwest Florida ever talked about it. And so we had the election after the hurricane. I became governor in January 2019, and I said, we haven't forgotten, we're going to do stuff. And so we've been able to do a lot to help. We've done over $1 billion in support for various communities throughout Northwest Florida. But we said that we knew there were some things that were needed right away, but we also knew that these are long-term recovery efforts when you have a storm of that magnitude. And if you think about it, the other storm that was rival this in terms of, if you go back in Florida history, the storm that was similar would have been Andrew in 1992, and they really never recovered in Homestead from Andrew. If you really want to know the truth, so we understand there's long term, so we want to be here to be able to help. And we've been working with local leaders, with my office, as well as the Florida Department of Emergency Management, and we're going to continue to do that. So today, you know, I don't just show up. I usually come bearing gifts, and so today, you know, I'm proud that we are going to continue to build on that commitment. So we're going to be awarding over $3.2 million to the Tri-County Community Council and the Capital Area Community Action Agency. This funding is through our Department of Economic Opportunities Community Services Block Grant, and enables these organizations to support the personal recovery efforts of residents impacted by Hurricane Michael. And so there are certain things that you think of, like roofs and things like that, but what about things like HVAC, furniture, all these other things? So this will be able to be used in these communities for that. We've done about $1 million so far. It's helped over 350 households with this program. These funds could support another 1,200 families across the Northwest Florida region. And so you will have opportunities here in Holmes, but you'll also have Bay, Calhoun, Franklin, Gadsden, Gulf, Jackson, Leon, Liberty, Taylor, Wakulla, and Washington counties. And I'm also happy to say that I have directed the Florida Department of Emergency Management to approve a federal cost share waiver for Holmes County for costs to respond to Hurricane Sally, which happened last year. So this waiver provides additional relief to the county, which is already, of course, impacted by Michael, and will save the county millions of dollars. So we are going to be here for the long haul on this. We very much appreciate our communities in Northwest Florida, particularly our more rural counties, and we want to be able to be here and work together to continue to make our communities better. So I want to thank the folks who've been involved with this. We do have some folks who are going to come up and speak, and so we're going to let the chairman of the county commission here in Holmes County, Earl Stafford, deliver some remarks. I'm going to have him come up.
Y'all, I've got a little speech here, but before I start it, isn't it a blessing to live in Florida and have a governor like we have? I'd like to start with good afternoon, Governor DeSantis. Thank you so much for being here today. I've lived here my entire life in Holmes County, and I could not be more proud standing here as the chairman of the Holmes County Commission, knowing you are the first ever Florida governor who has ever made a visit like this to Holmes County. Today, I hope you will leave today with a greater appreciation for Holmes County and understand more about the proud residents that call this place home. And we're so appreciative of you and everything that you do. We're proud of you, and we just want you to know the Holmes County's going to have you back.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm fortunate in Florida. As governor, I serve with other members of the cabinet. I'm more fortunate than some of them than others, but that's just the reality. But one of the guys that has been a great ally, not just in terms of our overall agenda, but particularly when it comes to Northwest Florida. He's from Bay County and has worked really, really hard to help those communities in the aftermath of Hurricane Michael to this day. So Jimmy Petronas, Chief Financial Officer for Florida.
Thank you, Governor. It's a complete pleasure to be here with y'all. Thank y'all so much for allowing us to come and join you today. I like to remind people, I told the governor a little bit earlier at our stop, that his single biggest speech he's ever given in his life as governor is not addressing the House and the Senate, but his inaugural address. It's what he stands for. It's what his vision is. And when he spoke from his heart to the importance of the recovery in Northwest Florida because of Hurricane Michael, it gets a little bit emotional to me. I know it gets emotional to y'all in the room, but the fact that he was here the very next day is his first full day in office, and about a dozen times after the month afterwards, he's never forgot about this state. He's never let any daylight get between him and the recovery in Northwest Florida. One thing I love about this guy is he doesn't differentiate between, whether you're from Miami-Dade County or you're from Holmes County, everybody's so important to him. And he could be in another part of the state, visiting a whole lot more people, but he spends as much time in this part of the state as he does anywhere else. Now, it's nice where he won this county 90-10. So, it's not a red thing, it's not a blue thing. It's just how we roll up here in Northwest Florida. So, it is so funny. People, I get to travel a lot, and I think I'm a big deal, right? I'm CFO of the state of Florida. They don't care about that. Do you know Ron DeSantis? So there's such just a love, not just in this state, but nationally, just because of what we've seen with the recovery of the pandemic. There's so many things that have been refreshing that this governor has brought to the state. And one is, how about having children in the mansion? First time in over 40 years. A different way of thinking about governance, just because you got little ones that you have to raise in this state, and you're a little more self-conscious about your caretaking of this state because what you're going to leave for those children's legacy. So seeing him come up here means an awful lot to me. I know it means an awful lot to all of y'all. And anyway, Governor, we're so proud that we have you here, and we just look forward to continue your service in the state.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We also, with our emergency response folks, sent some folks to help in the aftermath of the tornadoes. And if you look at that, as much as we don't like dealing with hurricanes in Florida, at least you get a little bit more warning that one may be coming. And these are folks who are asleep in their beds, and then all of a sudden, you have this whirlwind whipping through, causing really significant destruction. So we've sent folks to help in Kentucky and any other state around there. And we're going to continue to do that as other folks need help, because quite frankly, we've had a lot of folks step up to help us when we've needed folks. And so we'll all be in that together. So we want to send our thoughts and prayers for everybody that was affected by that. And I know we lost a lot of people, which is really, really sad. And you had people that were very elderly. You had very, very, very young babies. So it's a tragic thing. So we're no stranger to disasters. We've got a lot of great people, and so we're up there helping out as we speak. We also are fortunate to, have a state that is going in a really strong direction. I just put out my budget last week, and our overall budget comes to $99.7 billion. And to put that in perspective, the closest state to us in population is New York State. They have 3 million fewer people than Florida has now, and yet their budget is over twice the size of our budget. Yet they have worse roads and infrastructure and education and colleges and universities. And so, and they have very high taxes. We have no income tax in Florida, lowest per capita tax burden. We have a much more targeted budget, but we've also got over $15 billion in surplus funds in our various reserve accounts, which I don't think we've ever had that much in the state of Florida. So that's really good. But we are doing that, and we're doing it in a way that's much more responsible, yet we still are able to do a lot of really big things. We're doing a lot of big things for education. We're doing a lot of big things for infrastructure and transportation. We're doing a lot for law enforcement in this state. If you look at what's going on across the country, you know, they attacked law enforcement, they wanted to defund law enforcement, and now what do you have? You have smash and grabs everywhere. You have all kinds of problems on the streets of these cities. You even have the mayor of San Francisco acknowledging the city's totally out of control. And you see it in different parts of the country. And so when you do those policies, when you don't support the people in uniform, you know, guess who ends up benefits? The criminals benefit, not the law-abiding citizens. And so we have in Florida, since I've been governor, you know, we've supported law enforcement 100% because it's important to make sure that our communities are safe. And so we're putting our money where our mouth is in our budget. For state law enforcement, agencies like Florida Highway Patrol, Fish and Wildlife, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, we're doing a 25% salary increase for all those folks. And so that's a really big deal. People are going to be really happy about that. But we also see needs in law enforcement across the state at the local level. Sheriff departments, there's vacancies, but there's also a lot of people who aren't being treated well in other states that may want to come to Florida. And so what we've said is, you know, if you're qualified and you're bringing skills to Florida, you know, from Seattle or Minneapolis or some of these places where you're being treated poorly, you know, we'll take you in Florida, we'll treat you well, and we're going to do a $5,000 signing bonus, you know, if you come here. So if we get that passed, I mean, you're going to see everyone wanting to flood to be able to work in law enforcement in Florida. I can tell you what that'll mean. It'll mean our communities will be safer than the communities that they left from. I guarantee you that. So we've got a lot on our plate coming up, but you know, I wish everybody here in Holmes County a very Merry Christmas. We at our house, my daughter's 5, so she's kind of wise in the ways of the world. She knows about Santa. She's ready, and this is nothing new for her. My son, though, is 3, and he didn't really quite understand it last year. So this is the first year he's asking a lot of questions about Santa. He wants to know about the chimney and how he gets down that chimney and everything. And so we're really looking forward to being able to do that. And I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas with your families. And then we'll look forward to an even better you know, 2022. I mean, I think that we've been able to accomplish a lot here in Florida in this past year. Had some challenges, but I tell you, you know, you look what's going on in our country. Would you want to be anywhere else right now with what's going on? So we're very fortunate to live, you know, in the state of Florida. So thank you all for having me. We'll be back. We'll be doing more. At some point, I was in Nassau County on the east coast of Florida today, and we took some of our job growth grant money that I have to use for infrastructure and job trading, and we are launching a center to train commercial truck drivers, because they need people to do that. I mean, a lot of them that do it are going to be retiring in the next 10 years. And so that's going to end up providing people with an ability to make a really good money right off the bat. And so as there are needs in places like Holmes, and I told the folks in Washington, you know, we have an ability to help out with things that you all may want to do. So call my office. Worst I can say is someone could say no. If you don't ask, you never get. So ask us, and we want to be helpful. So we'll look forward to making it back here very, very soon. So God bless you all, and Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Which way? This way? Okay.